I'm not sure if you guys know this, but you guys represent something pretty large for this community, and that you've had a lot of one-on-one time with Richard. You've actually been able to really see who the guy is. And a lot of the I guess a lot of the attacks that we get are people that are questioning his character, who he is, this and that. You know, in your opinion, you know, you said something very important. You said something like he's in it for the glory at this point. Doesn't all that other stuff doesn't matter. He's in it for the glory. Do you have any other things you can follow up with about kind of who Richard is based on you hanging out with him? Is he just one of the guys? Is he, you know, is super obviously smart dude, but like what are your impressions? Are you allowed to talk about that at all?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Cool.
no, that's all fair game. There's
Good.
certain things that we've seen that we can't talk about. But you know, he's incredibly sharp. Like to hang out with him, you get you know, he's incredibly sharp. He's easily distracted. He is hard to, you know, keep in any kind of given direction.
Right.
And so like a lot of that what you see on stream is very true. But I mean, he often challenged us to think bigger in terms of like the way he sees the world and the things he wants to create. And, you know, you are the sum of the 5 people you hang out with. And so like, we enjoy telling stories with people where we have an idea and they're like, I mean, here's an example. We're in Iceland and we're going to film, you know, some adventure stuff. And so I get a whole bunch of, you know, ATVs and stuff that we can do. And he looks over and he's like, dude, ATVs are like bitch mode, like direct quote. Right. And I'm like, sorry. He's like, no, like I heard that they've got the world's biggest monster truck here. Like, that's what I want. And in that moment, I was like, you're like, we didn't think big enough. Like hold on. Right. And then the next day we're doing chopper to chopper filming with the doors off my chopper banking over his. And so there is that, like, you know,
Think bigger.
In the scale at which he sees things, and therefore sometimes the speed at which I think a lot of people interact with him with how slow that could be for him. Sure. Like if you're that intelligent and you think up here, you also got to understand his perception of reality could be, wow, it's like I'm hanging out with a whole bunch of kindergartners and they're talking really slow and this is really hard. And you can see how that would change somebody's personality, right? Which you often see in people who are quite intelligent. Grant, what do you think?
Yeah, what do you think?
I would echo that. I would say that I do think that Richard enjoys being challenged at every turn, because I think that, you know, often he finds that he wants to spar. He wants to intellectually spar with the world, and that's not just related in his world of crypto. It's in, you know, any other line of thought, whether he's talking about Kelvin value or you know, you know, any of those other ideas, the importance of you know, luxury in life, those kinds of like thoughts and conversations. And I think that his living environment is a reflection of that. I think that's also interesting to know that, you know, like to be in his space is to know that it's not all neat and organized. Right. Sure. Like it's full of, you know, the way that I think Richard's life is as well as a reflection of that. So interesting. And pants are optional in Richard's world. Just so tidy whities tend to be the preferred costume.